And as I say, in the lovely January days of 2021, we're going to vlog a new magic show for you. Here we're going to go. A vlog about any magic show of all time, one of the best magic shows of all time, seriously. It's Copperfield's Escape from the Niagara Falls, okay? Niagara Falls challenge he did back in 1990, 30 years ago, okay? 31 years ago, was it? So we're now vlog for the next 10 minutes or so. The amazing Niagara Falls challenge Copperfield did. David Copperfield, the world's greatest magician, back in 1990, when he escaped and challenged the forces of the Niagara Falls. Okay, so here we're going to go. It's about relax for 10 minutes and we vlog this one. Here we're going to go. Very well indeed. And again, back again with a vlog of this amazing magic show from 1990. This amazing magic show, seriously, I love this magic show. It's actually not one of the best magic shows I've ever seen, but it's a good magic show. It's actually one of the good illusion shows. There's some good stuff in this magic show. It was actually not a big magic show of David Copperfield, a big American magician. He'd actually already gone through the 1980s doing many big magic shows. He'd already vanished an airplane, he'd levitated a Ferrari and vanished that. He'd also vanished Statue of Liberty, of course. He'd walked through the Great Wall of China. He escaped from Alcatraz. He'd also gone and challenged the forces of the Bermuda Triangle as well. And he also escaped from a burning tower box as well. That kind of stuff, amazing stuff, isn't it? Seriously. So now all about 10 amazing illusions. And now in 1990, he decided he would go and do something else. He would challenge the amazing power and forces of Niagara Falls, the amazing Niagara Falls in Canada. Now, of course, Niagara Falls, Canada, of course, is an extraordinary place, isn't it? It's up in northern New York State, isn't it? It's an amazing place. It's Canada. It's quite a funny place. It's full of amazing Niagara Falls, amazing tourist attractions as well. There's a bit like kind of Hollywood, isn't it? Up in Canada, isn't it? There, a lot of those kind of tacky kind of shops there. You know what I mean? There's kind of tourist shops there. There's kind of knick-knack shops and arcades there. But apart from the sort of tacky tourism, actually Niagara Falls is an amazing place to visit. The falls are quite incredible, seriously. And there are many people over the years who have challenged at Niagara Falls and actually decided to go over Niagara Falls in a barrel. They used to get this on a barrel and they'd go over Niagara Falls and crash down the falls basically to their death basically. And sometimes they try to survive. Some people actually were killed during this challenge, seriously. And if Copperfield wanted to do this challenge, we'd get a seal inside a coffin or a box and drop down Niagara Falls and see if he can escape before being drowned to death, basically. So it's one of those kind of illusions, really. I have to say, to be honest with you, it's a weird kind of illusion to do, isn't it? And many people even, I think Harry Houdini also want to do it as well. I don't think he ever did it. But many people actually want to do this illusion, seriously, and have never done it because it's so dangerous. The falls are so dangerous, seriously. Before we get into the Niagara Falls bit itself, well, a little vlog a little bit about the actual magic on the magic show itself. Now, Copperfield cuts to a theatre. I think the theatre's in New York City, or I think it's Florida Theatre. And it cuts, I'm looking at it now on television, I'm watching it right now, so I'm talking to you. I love this show, seriously. Copperfield basically begins the show by having in the theatre, he walks on stage, he's got a motorbike. The strains of U2 come out, it's 1990, because U2's Streets of No Name. Remember U2, Streets of No Name, remember that, Joshua Tree? And how that kind of U2 song comes on. Copperfield rides on stage on a motorbike, okay, he gets out on a motorbike. He's a bit of a kind of a biker now. He's gone from being a guy next door with a nice suit, you know what I mean, Frank Sinatra look. He's now become a kind of a biker, you know what I mean? So he's wearing a biker's helmet, another kind of gear kind of stuff. He's quite a cool bloke, he's got the old dog tags on, that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? And they kind of get a big Harley Davidson motorcycle, stick it onto a big crate with holes in it and put the crate up in the air in front of the audience. The crate blows up in sparks and flames and the crate opens and the motorcycle and Copperfield both disappear completely, okay, and appear actually in the middle of the audience. Amazing, seriously. Suddenly the audience look around, suddenly behind them, Copperfield stood behind them on a motorbike, okay, smoke going up as well, okay, and the screams of, I think it's Van Halen they're playing, you know, Van Halen's kind of, it's 1990s rock, you know what I mean, seriously, remember 1990s? The 80s is the kind of thing, it's 1990s rock, wasn't it? AC/DC, wasn't it? Bon Jovi, wasn't it? Remember them, you know? The people like Van Halen, weren't they? They were kind of big, weren't they? Guns N' Roses were big, wasn't it? 1990, wasn't it? Remember? So obviously, this is the rock era, isn't it? 1990, basically. So Copperfield's doing a bit of a rock illusion. Now, it's a good illusion. If it vanishes on stage and appears in the audience of the motorcycle, it's a good illusion. Not a fantastic illusion, pretty good version of an old trick. I think Doug Henning did this back in the 70s, vanishing a motorcycle. In those days it was a big deal to do that. I think by 1990 these illusions were going kind of de rigueur, well, these kind of illusions were pretty common to do basically. illusion, looks pretty good on telly. Watching it right now, it's a kind of big illusion, lighting and smoke and that kind of stuff. It looks pretty good. The music's really great from Van Halen. Having said that, it's actually fairly, as kind of Copperfield's illusions, it's pretty clumsy actually compared to his normal other stuff he does. It's pretty straightforward. He did this trick a lot actually back in the day, back in the 1990s on stage, on tour. He did this illusion quite a lot over the years. He actually loved this Vanishing Camera motorcycle. Did it an awful lot. Pretty good illusion, and if you want to see how it's done, there's actually on YouTube a version of how it's done, seriously. Anyway, let's move on from that illusion. We'll go on, we'll flip the video forward a bit and have a look at the next bit on the trick, which of course I think is Copperfield doing an illusion where he takes a camera. This illusion is the Vanishing TV camera. This Vanishing TV camera was done by Paul Daniels back in 1984 in England, the UK, BBC One. And it's quite a big illusion. And Copperfield actually liked this illusion an awful lot, the Vanishing TV camera, and bought it from Paul Daniels back in 1990 and used it for the show. It's actually quite good looking on the show on here. Do look at it, it's quite good. He actually gets a TV cameraman and put it inside a box basically, and then the guys in the box, so the cameraman's filming Copperfield and the audience through a hole in the box, okay? Pretty good stuff really. And you can actually see that, it's quite effective actually. And suddenly Copperfield like clicks his fingers and the box blows up, opens up, and of course the camera and the cameraman both disappear completely in a puff of smoke. Pretty impressive, seriously. And Copperfield gets in the box, looks around it, nothing there at all, no mirrors, nothing at all. It's quite impressive kind of vanish really actually. It's done, I think it's done with a technique called mirror tunnel techniques, which I think many people have done over the years. But it's quite using the scenery behind, so the scenery is involved in the illusion. But it's quite an effective vanish of our TV camera. Then cuts to a kind of a gag joke. He's got a big TV screen above him, and he cuts to an image of a high tower scraper kind of thing, you know, a high tower block. And up there's Penn and Teller with the camera, which is being found on top of a building basically. It's kind of a gag joke thing, seriously. Copperfield does for a kind of joke in the routine. So Penn and Teller appear for a bit of a laugh in the routine as well. So Vanishing TV camera appears on top of a building. It's quite a funny illusion, okay. The Vanishing TV camera is very effective actually, he's done very well indeed. And again, the use of music's really good as well. I like the use of music. And Copperfield's quite chilled, he's quite laid back by 1990s. Improved in performance a lot actually over the years, over the 1980s. His performance with the audience is more relaxed, more chilled, more kind of goofy, a bit kind of wacky, a bit more chilled out. Seriously, his performance. He was doing 500 shows a year apparently back in the day. No wonder he's a billionaire, isn't he? In dollars apparently. So no wonder he does so many shows. He lives in Mystique, doesn't he? I think he lives in Musher Key, doesn't he? In Bahamas now, doesn't he? All the money he's made from all these shows, and I love to go to Bahamas. Really want to go to Bahamas? Anyway. You might maybe win a chance to go to Bahamas, maybe. Anyway, Copperfield did some amazing stuff, and it's a really good illusion. Vanishing TV camera, one of the highlights of the show. We then I'll squeeze forward a bit again and have a look at the next illusion of the show. Even I can't remember even all the elements, but the elements then go, I think, to another illusion where he gets a girl out of the audience. And he does a little dance with her actually, he does kind of a dance with her, gets a card chosen and gets a notepad pulled out, basically, a giant notepad pulled out. And what he does is, it's quite a good comedy routine, and basically he draws on a notepad a huge a box of playing cards on the notepad is drawn, and he waves his fingers on the notepad, and suddenly the chosen card that was chosen by the girl, it rises out of the pack of cards on the notepad. It's kind of give kind of trick, seriously. It kind of rises out of the notepad, and then he tears the paper off, gives it to the girl as a souvenir, take away with home. It's a real bit of paper. It's kind of a rising card on a notepad basically. It's quite an effective illusion, seriously. illusion, I think Copperfield really loved that one a lot actually. He uses music from a band from the 80s called Information Society. Remember Information Society? I want to know what you're feeling or something. It's good bit of music as well. Copperfield does a very good routine. The trick's quite a good trick. It's not an amazing magic trick. Again, with all magic, the trick is in the routine. Okay, the routine is the magic of this bit really. The routine, the dancing, the movement, the way the gags and jokes are written into the routine makes the routine really, really good. So the trick's a pretty standard magic trick. There's no game by Paul Daniels back in the UK. Again, Copperfield took us a few levels up to a better routine than it would previously had been. It's a good routine, seriously. Copperfield did this a lot. He did this on stage years and years later, actually. I remember him doing this back in 2002, I think, in the big show as well. The Tornado special he did. So he did love this illusion. It's a very good trick indeed. It's the kind of goofy, rising card on a pad of paper, but the elegant style and use of music is really good in this, I must admit, and also his comedy routine, the routining, the writing of the jokes and gags is very good. I'm going to flick through to the next illusion. The next illusion is the heart of the show. This is by far, actually, I have to be honest, the best thing on the magic show. This is the best thing on the show. This is called, I think, a multi-fit. It's an illusion where a girl gets put in a box and it's cut into several pieces, like 10 pieces, I think. And then reassembled again, the girl gets out. Now this is done with Joe Spina, who's his dancer. He's danced for loads of years over the 80s and 90s. Love Joe Spina, do Google Joe Spina. Basically, Joe Spina does an amazing Latino dance routine, I'm saying it seriously. This is brilliant. The lighting, the staging, the music is fantastic. Some late 80s music, a movie about Latino dancing. Joe Spina looks fantastic and she does it really brilliantly. Copperfield and her dance fantastic together. She gets into the box, okay, to the movement and the duration of the movement of this amazing Latino kind of beat. Gets in the box. This is fantastic, seriously. They put the blades in the box, okay, put it horizontal, pull the box apart into about 10 pieces, okay, spin around and around and around, put the box back, okay, pull the blades out again. Flip the box upright and out pops Joe Spina again, completely restored again, back to normal again. This trick is sensational. The staging, the lighting, the dancing, the movement, the impulse, the blood flowing in this illusion is fantastic, seriously. It's fantastic. This is a highlight of all of Copperfield's career. Do check this out. If you watch one thing on the show, what's this amazing kind of Latino multi-fid dance illusion. It's fantastic, seriously. I love it so much. I watched it several times, seriously. You can tell that, can't you? Watch it many times. I do love this illusion. And the bit of music is from a Latin movie from the late 80s, and it's very good indeed. Now moving forward again at this, Copperfield goes and does a couple of small bits of magic. He goes back to do a couple of small bits of magic, which I kind of do normally, and you could do as well. He does a very old trick from about 30 years ago, which is pencil through $10 bill. Get a $10 bill, you stick a pencil through it, okay, rip the pencil, rip it through the bill, and then the bill's completely restored. Good trick, seriously. Not a particularly amazing trick. It was quite trendy back about in the late 80s and 90s to do this trick. Haven't seen it done recently. It's quite a good illusion. He just literally gets a real $10 bill and puts a pencil through it and tears it. There's no holes at all. The bill's completely restored back to him again. Illusion that you could do that as well. That's the illusion you could do as well, seriously. Good trick to do. Again, look up on Google or Google it, or have a look on on the YouTube channel, see how you can do that trick. But I might do it myself. It's actually quite a good version of penetrating a $10 bill with or a £10 note or whatever with a pencil. Okay. We then go to another quite knacky illusion, not particularly amazing, it's pretty standard stuff, but it's done very well. This is Copperfield's walking through a plate glass mirror, or mirror as he says mirror in America, don't they? In the UK it's mirror, in the USA it's mirror, okay? Basically Copperfield they get a massive mirror on stage, okay, a big stand, big like 10 foot high mirror, plate glass mirror. Copperfield gets behind the mirror, and then he kind of bangs in, it's already normal, no holes or cuts in the mirror at all, and he walks through the mirror. Yes, he walks through the mirror, right through it, okay? Pretty good again. And the illusion goes down really well. Go on stage with it. A few gags and jokes written into it as well to make the illusion more entertaining. Remember, all magic is about routining, isn't it? It's about routining. The trick itself is the easy bit in a sense. It's the routine, the music, the dancing, whatever the movement, the lighting, the handling of the props. That's the magic of the routine. And this is another lesson in how to routine magic. It's just a standard magic trick, passing through a plate glass mirror. Done very well indeed. Do like very much indeed. I wouldn't dwell on it, but it's quite a good illusion and certainly one of the nice elements of the show. Flicking on from here to another illusion. He does a thing called marcasets, I think it's called marcasets. This is where he gets a ring of marcasets, which is called a little diamond marcaset, crystal diamonds. It's a ring he borrows from the girl in the audience. It's quite nicely done. This is very elegant done actually. This is another good bit of the show actually. This shows how good Copperfield really is at handling props and handling the thing. He does this very elegantly, smoothly, takes a ring, vanishes it in, I think he puts it in a ring box and vanishes it basically in the ring box with the girl sat next to him. And he has a big egg timer, and the egg timer then he puts a cloth over the egg timer and a rubber cloth around the egg timer, and suddenly the ring that has disappeared appears on the middle of the egg timer, in the glass of the egg timer. Very good indeed, seriously. And he has to get a knife, I think, and smash the glass to get the ring out, basically. Very good indeed, seriously. And we then get on from there to a kind of a trick he did years and years ago, which I'm thinking of right now. The trick he did back in the 70s, which is the girl vanishing on a chair. Now, vanishing girls on chairs is a trick done in Victorian times by many magicians. I think it was done by Robert Houdin, the French magician in France, back in Paris in the late 1880s. It's a French kind of illusion where a girl gets sat in a chair and basically they put a cloth over her and they pull the cloth away and she disappears. Okay, this is a good trick, seriously. Copperfield basically does a very lovely version. Again, this is really it's a vignette basically. A vignette where it's very emotional. Copperfield always goes for the emotions, doesn't he, shows? Pull the heartstrings, emotions. So this is really a kind of turned into a story piece of magic, and where he finds pictures of his old girlfriend, he misses her so much, you know what I mean? And then she suddenly appears with him next to him and he's going, oh my God, my girlfriend's back from years ago. I miss her so much, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. Had a little dance with her, move around with her, shows some magic tricks. She sits in a chair, puts a cloth over herself, and the cloth pulls away, and she completely disappears entirely, vanishes on the chair. Good trick, seriously. Again, very good illusion. I have to say, it's done very well. Copperfield always does it really, really well. I did this many times, I think, in these live TV shows. And surprisingly, it's very, very good. course, I'll get to the bit you want to hear about most, which of course is the Niagara Falls bit and how they do the Niagara Falls. The Niagara Falls challenge is a very weird illusion where Copperfield challenges his life. He tends to, if I say a helicopter flies to Niagara Falls with a Copperfield in the helicopter, he looks like the Fonz from Happy Days, you know what I mean? He's got the black leather on and the white kind of like top on, you know what I mean? He's like the Fonz basically, the Happy Days. Remember Happy Days in the 70s? And basically anyway, he kind of gets out of the helicopter and he kind of gets chained up and he gets put into a kind of like a coffin, basically a coffin. His hands sticking out, legs sticking out of the coffin. And the coffin is hung inside a big kind of box framework. It's hung inside it, okay. And this is put on a big yellow raft, okay, with a kind of speed bike on the side of it. Get away from the speed bike. And it's kind of like the whole thing is hauled up in the air and dropped onto the kind of Niagara Falls, basically. And you can see Copperfield struggling, his hands and feet struggling away. It's like this coffin, basically. Can't see his face or anything. And he's kind of going along the river of the Niagara River, basically. And again, basically, what is going to happen? The thing's on fire as well. The thing's actually on fire as well. This is goofy, seriously. This is all goofy. And suddenly, of course, we get to the edge and we think, what's going to happen here? And suddenly, the whole thing crashes, goes wrong, basically. The whole contraption is trapped in and chained in. It goes right over Niagara Falls, seriously, right into the mist and below, and the water below. And we presume Copperfield's completely been killed by this. And I think, my God, what's going to happen? He's been killed by this thing, he's been killed. And suddenly, okay, out of the blue, this helicopter appears from below, okay, it flies up above the camera, and hanging on below the helicopter is Copperfield, hanging below it, okay, soaking wet with hair all over the place, basically, soaking wet completely. And he's managed to escape the amazing tragedy of this, the Niagara Falls challenge, basically. Amazing trick, seriously. It's very impressive indeed. Again, I think I know how it's done. I don't know whether or not he's in the box, or not in the box at the beginning. I think maybe there was a switch somewhere. It's very clever how we got out of it. I must say, very good. There's no camera trick at all. This is a real illusion. Copperfield apparently was so nervous about doing this illusion and being killed by the illusion that he didn't sleep for a week before he did this series. Apparently, he didn't sleep for a week before he did this, he says anyway. And also, they were going to do a version where they're going to stick some metal rails, like railways tracks, into the water to sort of help get the old raft over the edge. But basically, it didn't happen. The force of water was so strong, actually bent the metal on the railway track. So basically, in the end, they used a helicopter the whole raft onto Niagara Falls. So it's quite impressive, really, wasn't it? Seriously, did that. But I do like the illusion. It's okay. It's a bit silly. Okay, but the presentation presentation's a bit weird. Copperfield seems a bit out of sorts in it, to be honest. There's no, as it's done in daylight as well, there's actually no kind of like use of kind of aesthetics very particularly. There's no lighting and night lighting and that kind of stuff. You know, he has in illusions. Okay, it's done quite straightforwardly in the daylight scenario. Having said that, it's pretty good. It's quite impressive done. I say many people have gone over Niagara Falls and barrels and things over the last 100 years and killed themselves doing it. So obviously this is quite a big illusion of Copperfield do seriously, and of course Copperfield did actually want you to stuntman. Apparently he wanted you to stuntman as well for this. Stuntman apparently refused to do it as well, apparently. I think in the end they wanted you to stuntman instead of Copperfield, the helicopter sequence where he appears in the helicopter. The stuntman refused to do it, so Copperfield did it himself in the end, basically. That's impressive, isn't it? Copperfield did really risk his life with this illusion. It was really quite dangerous, serious to do this illusion here over at Niagara Falls. It's shot, I think, only 1990s, 30 odd years ago, 31 years ago. It's now 2021. So it was a good illusion to do. Is it impressive? Yes. Technically it's impressive. It's impressive technically. Is it his best illusion? No. Could have been better? Yeah. Okay. It's maybe 7 out of 10. It's a pretty good illusion series. It's not one of the best things he ever did. It's not as good as the Great Wall of China, the aeroplane vanishing, the Orient Express vanishing, the Flying Dream, or the Statue of Liberty. It's not as good as those illusions, but it's pretty good. It's well worth looking at. So do check the show. It's on YouTube. Do check the show. Niagara Falls channel. It's on YouTube somewhere. There are a few copies on YouTube again. So do find it out. It's very good indeed, seriously. And I hope it never gets deleted because it's a really good magic show. It's a really big magic as well, seriously. Hope you enjoyed that vlog anyway about Great Magic Show from 1990. Okay, with Copperfield. Okay, one of the best magicians in the world. And seriously, go back and check these illusion shows out. If you're into magic like I am, love magic, okay, then do please go look at these old magic shows from the 90s and 80s. They're so fantastic, seriously. And I love this stuff, seriously. I love talking to you guys, love talking to you. Please do hit the like and subscribe button as well. Please do subscribe to the video as well, please do, okay? It links below for more magic as well, please do. Okay, there's many videos, I made about 60 videos of vlogging and blogging, magic and illusion and tricks myself as well. So do check the videos out of my videos as well. Magic Mike 122, okay? Magicalmike Ormerod. Hope you enjoyed that anyway, okay? And look after yourself as you're on this pandemic, please do, because it's never ending, isn't it? But I'm sure it'll end very, very soon, okay? So things will get better in 2021. Look after yourselves for another few days. Check out some more magical videos. See you again soon for some more chat, magic and illusions. See you later.